with my dad. He and my mom had a very interesting relationship. And so there was a period of time when mom said, yeah, you can't talk, you can't see her anymore. And I didn't learn that until later, but because all I knew was as a child, there was an absence there because I had mom, but I didn't have dad. And so, I don't know if this was a natural response or not, but I developed this really, really strong hatred of him. And I would see him periodically throughout the years at family events, because surprisingly my mom was really good friends with his sister, so we would still go to some of the family functions. And when he'd see me, it angered me even more because he would try to talk to me as though we talked every day. And it was offensive to me because I'm like, as a kid, I don't have you in my life. I also blamed him for a lot of things that had happened to me over the years as it relates to molestation. And so each time I saw him, it just angered me even more. Like, you're not talking to me like you care about the fact that we don't have a relationship. You're talking to me like you talk to me every day, and it just angered me. And I remember going to college, and I started going to this church in college, and I was originally going to eat, but I ended up getting fed spiritually, and it was where I rededicated my life to God and really started to develop my relationship with God. And so in doing that, God took me through a season of forgiveness as it related to my mom and my dad. And so that was my freshman year of college, but it took a lot of work in me throughout those years of me being in college to where as I got to my senior year of college, and somehow I started back talking to my dad. I don't remember how that happened, but I invited him to my graduation. And guess what? He didn't show up.
Wow.
And it was hurtful, but I was in a different space then because all of the hatred that I'd had for him over those years, I'd laid that to rest, and God had really dealt with me about that my freshman year of college. So I actually had a conversation with him about it and told him how I felt. And from then on, we really started to rebuild our relationship. My dad was a big help for me when I had my son and I moved back to Memphis to go to school. He got to have with my son what he didn't get to have with me. And so that gave me joy. And so because I was able to forgive my father, that gave my son an opportunity to know his granddad. And I started to develop this relationship with him, and I also got to meet my sister. I had a sister who was 10 years younger than me that I'd never met before. And so I lost my dad. I lost my dad in October. But I'm so grateful to God because I could be mourning him from a place of regret if I didn't make a decision, and it was a decision that I had to make to forgive him. But instead, I'm mourning the dad that I got to know. And when my dad passed away, I'd known my dad and been in a relationship with him longer than I'd lost him.
Wow.
And so for that, I'm grateful. And I try to tell people all the time, when it comes to forgiveness, like Taffany said, it really is for us. A lot of times it's for them too. Because there was a lot of guilt that my dad was carrying too, because of the fact that he wasn't in my life and he did not do right by me, and I wasn't going to make any excuses for that. But it helped him as well. And I see a lot of people, when you see, you go to a black funeral, you might see somebody trying to fall over into the casket with the person who's being lowered into the ground. But a lot of times, that's not just about normal mourning. That's not just about normal grief. It's about regret, and it's about guilt, and it's about unforgiveness. And so I tell people, let it go. Like, literally, let it go. Allow God to heal you. Allow God to heal your heart, and allow Him to give you the strength to forgive, because it doesn't come from our strength. It comes from His.
Amen. Amen.